What's going on, everyone? I thought I'd come back at you with another video update here on the crypto market, as we've had a lot of things unwind over the past couple days here. If we look back, Ethereum, I was inside of this trade here on Ethereum, which I posted on the last chart, and it was a 1 to 67 risk to reward, which actually ended up working out and hitting it. However, as soon as we hit an all-time high, which is this line, the top of there, we did have a little bit of a scary reaction here at the whole market dumping. But you can see there, it wicked the all-time highs, came a little lower, then liquidated the new high and immediately dropped. So there is quite a lot of fear in the market. At the same time, the pump that Bitcoin had at the same time, where it did liquidate that low that I was looking at. The same low I was looking at there, it liquidated that and went for a run. Of course, though, where does it go? It goes above this high right here, right into this other daily fair value gap right there, and then rejects. This is something in one of my crypto communities I did say as soon as the pump happened. I'm like, everything's conveniently at resistance right now. After a huge pump where everyone FOMOs in on really good news and Ethereum liquidates the highs, it does look a little suspect. Now, I will admit, I did sell a good portion of my Ethereum at all-time highs there, as well as the trade close at take profit. But I obviously didn't sell the majority of my portfolio because I still believe that this altcoin season is happening. And, to be honest, I didn't exactly see this happening right at this level. And it is a little bit concerning, if I'm being honest. Not for altcoins necessarily, but if this level holds, we're fine. You can see this is a level I had drawn out here. At the same time, this level's here. Ethereum is right at the box, the order block here for this huge pump that we've had up. If we look at the total market cap, we've just liquidated the low right before that pump. So a lot of the liquidity for longs has been taken, and there is still liquidity on Bitcoin higher. So it's not awful here. And if we do recover from this level, we could look at the USDT here. USDT. I don't know why this does this on this time frame. If we go to the daily, it changes. I'll show you what I mean in a second. But if you can see, we've just liquidated this high. So if we theoretically reject here, we could go lower. One thing I will say that was concerning to me again about that pump and why I thought everything was conveniently at resistance was this was the huge pump that we had. And this is what I mean about this. So if you look here, let's go 15 minute, I think is a better chart here. Yeah. So if we look here, the one thing that I did not like was that this, right before the pump, it left all of this liquidity here above. If this spike had spiked up here, I would have thought that this level was going to hold for sure. And I'm not going to sit here and say I call every single move always, because that's a lie. No one does that. If they tell you that, they're just trying to sell you a course or something. But yeah, the fact that this left it behind, I did think it was a possibility for this to come back around. If we look at total 2, so this is the total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoins. This one has Ethereum in it. If we go on the weekly chart, this has not made a new all-time high yet. This to me is good. It's good that this didn't happen, because if you look back again at Ethereum before it hit its all-time high up here, what happened? Let's go in on the daily. So it fell short, retraced into the fair value gap here to sweeping the liquidity, the fair value gap that was responsible for taking out these previous highs. So the same thing could be happening on total 2 here. So we could get a bounce from right where we are right now. If we don't, well, this total 2 at least could be heading down here to sweep these lows, go in here, and then continue higher. Now, the one thing that, like I said, does concern me about Bitcoin here, we won't even go over altcoins today. We could go over others. That's one other thing. I do like the fact that on this huge pump that we had, that this is the huge pump that we had, all we did was take out this high, and then also if the next daily candle had opened here, swept the high, and then done this, I'd think that's a little bit more bearish. But just like USDT, how it leaves liquidity behind right here, this is leaving liquidity behind. So we have technically not yet. So we probably would need one more push lower on others here if this level is going to hold. Maybe even tap into the end of this fair value gap somewhere in there, and then go back up. If that doesn't hold though, we are likely coming back down here on others, which means altcoins are going to suffer another hit down. But again, we are leaving liquidity high. So even if we have a steeper retrace, I don't think the top is in, but I do think that there is a chance that the top for Bitcoin is in. And I know that's going to upset a lot of people. A lot of people are going to call me crazy and I'm wrong, blah, 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 blah. And again, I didn't call everything perfectly, but I called the top in November, sold all my altcoins, bought everything back around here, back at the lows, and now I'm seeing topish type signals again right now. So if this level holds, we're fine. We can continue up to new highs. But if we go lower and trade into here, sweeping this low here, like I said, that is concerning to me, because then we have completely lost this structure, and then this will be quite a topping pattern. And then in my opinion, what will happen is it will react off of this zone somewhere in here, maybe a little lower, but somewhere in here. And then Bitcoin will slowly rally back up. And during that rally, Ethereum will continue to outperform Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin dominance will continue to drop. If you look, we are at, again, a level on Bitcoin dominance where theoretically we could reject from here and go lower. But, same thing with Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart. We were right in the zone where this could reject and go higher. But again, if this level doesn't hold, and we come into somewhere like this or down here, then, like I said, I think that the top for Bitcoin is in, and we'll have a slow rally on Bitcoin, slowly up. A lot of consolidation, and during that time, Ethereum and altcoins will run. They'll continue to outperform, and that will be our altcoin season. And after that, that'll be the top. Now, what happens to Bitcoin exactly? That's anyone's guess. There's a chance it gets up here to 119, sweeps these highs, and that's it. And then that's bear market start. And then, it's time to take some profits. We'll assess that situation when we get there, but there is also a chance that if we have a huge short build up here, that what will happen is Bitcoin will, rally up from here or wherever it rallies, sweeps this high, liquidates all the shorts, and then trades lower. And that's the end of the bear market. And I don't want to get into targets for the bear market low because we're not there yet, but and to be quite frank, people won't believe me, but it's pretty scary where it could go. But again, we're not there yet, and I still think the best for us altcoin and Ethereum holders is ahead of us here, regardless of if this zone holds or not. So we'll see how the next few days play out, but that's what I'm seeing in the charts. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them or include any kind of an analysis on that on my next video. Please like the video if you got any value from it, and share the video if you could. Not trying to be, full of myself. There's no point in being cocky here, because I've learned time and time again that the market will humble you. But, not too many people could post a 1 to 67 trade here, for full TP, 1 to 67, and at the same time called exactly in the last video. You can go back and watch it if you don't believe me, because it's in the video. I called this low to be liquidated, which happened right there, and then a huge push up, which happened. So, I do think that at this point, I've been a pretty credible source, and I hope I continue to do that. So let's go. Let's go get this crypto. Please like the video. Peace.